Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
This is the Arcos 5 Internet tablet running Android 1.6. That's the open source operating system from Google. Of course, Android 1.6, not quite as new as 2.0 that you might find on devices like the Droid, but it still works. This is my first Android device, and the nice thing is I didn't have to buy a phone or activate anything to use it. Thank you, Arcos, for providing this as a review unit. I ran into Charbax. Actually, I think he ran into me at Le Web in France and said, "Hey, would you like to play with this?" I said, "Yeah, heck yeah, I would." And so now I have an Android device. Of course, I don't quite have access to the App Store, as some of you might with Android devices. That's because Arcos has not updated the firmware yet, but Charbax, a community enthusiast for Arcos, has suggested that one would be available within the next few months, an update to the firmware which would update me to the latest version of Android as well as give me access to the App Store. Some things to note about this, not only is it running Android, but specifically you're able to play YouTube HD videos with HDMI out. That means high quality HD video from YouTube, HDMI out directly to an HD TV. And this will fit in your pocket. The world's first pocketable product that'll do that. And it'll also play H.264 MKV files if you're used to downloading those types of videos on the net. This is going to go slightly out of frame, but just to show you that I can rotate and it would adjust accordingly, so it's got an accelerometer in there as well. Another thing to note, it's a 4.8-inch screen, 800 by 480. It's approximately medium density resolution, but it's very, very sharp. The image that I see on the screen, it's glossy, so that's the reason why I'm sitting a little below the camera. You can see my hand in the reflection. So it means you've got a lot more screen real estate to deal with than most Android devices currently on the market today, and certainly a larger resolution than the iPhone. Of course, there's the Google search. This is a Google platform. It's got a few default apps in there, some apps that the people at Arcos decided to install stock, with their internet tablet, making it a medium managing device. It's kind of fun. Whee! Let's go over here. Yeah, let's see. I want to do this because I'm used to the iPhone, but you can't really do that. But I can spin around the top of the globe there. Another thing to note here, especially compared to the Droid, it's running an 800 megahertz processor. Droid is running a 600 megahertz processor, so it is faster, which means when you're doing things like browsing the web, even web pages are going to pull up quicker. And you wouldn't think that would be true, but it is. A faster processor does translate into faster loading of web pages, as well as faster loading of everything else. So there's a lot of pros to this, and I think what I like most about it is the fact that they're offering firmware updates to this particular product. I'm happy that it is an Android device. This is my first and pretty much only, well, at least currently, Android device, and I didn't need to buy a phone to use it. I'll be sure to link off to where you can find this particular Android device. go.tagjag.com/ArcosAndroid. It's kind of long, but it'll work. go.tagjag.com/Arcos, that's ARCHOS, Android, is where you'd be able to get your own Android device. And it's going to be ready. It's going to grow with you, having all the familiarity of Arcos in terms of what they've been able to provide over the years, as well as the familiarity of Android, the operating system. This is the 160 gigabyte version. They also have slimmer versions using flash media. Of course, lesser capacity, but hey, I've got a lot of storage to play with here, which means when I have official access to the Android App Store, I will have 1,000 apps on here. And by the way, in case you're wondering, I have 477 apps installed on my iPhone right now. Oh, and you might have remembered my blog post earlier this week that explained how I came to get this Band-Aid on my finger. I sliced the end of my fingertip. Posted that photo there on my blog, chris.pirillo.com. My email address, chris@pirillo.com. See, look, I can even use it with a Band-Aid. Whee! I like how the background moves at a different speed than the foreground. Gives it a 3D type of feel to it. Love it. Community enthusiasts, geeks.pirillo.com. Of course, you know that you can find us chatting away, typically talking tech, even if I'm not here or doing other things with the live video feed. Plenty of people hanging out in the chat room 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.